In 2003, California held a recall election for the governor's office, and people like Gary Coleman, Cato Kalin, and ultimately Arnold Schwarzenegger all wanted to run, with the Terminator actually eventually winning. The whole thing was an absurd media circus and brought the whole idea of major elections down lower than reality shows in terms of credibility. Well, we stand at the precipice of all that idiotic bullshit starting all over again. Here's your damn Rant show, folks. Greetings, I am E. Adam Thomas, and welcome to That Damn Rant Show, kicking everything that comes our way in the twig and berries since, well, last week. Tonight, we'll be looking at the 2016 presidential race, and one of the most high-profile candidates in particular, Donald Trump. He has made a huge splash in the race, using his media presence and high-profile notoriety to garner him front-runner status in the race for the White House. He literally has millions of people willing to vote for him. Now, there's no denying that he has been a relatively successful businessman for over 40 years, despite having several of his ventures forced into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And he's gone on record numerous times saying that the federal government needs to be run more like a business. There is a certain logic to that, and although I'm neither a political nor a financial scholar by any means, a few of his ideas do seem to make some sense. What doesn't make any sense to me is that how, at this point, anyone could fucking think that this misogynistic, racist asshole should run the country. He has made comments and insults about just about everybody. But what concerns me is his total apparent lack of filter. Look, I hate political correctness myself in and of itself. We are, as a society, way too oversensitive. But this asshole comes out and addresses the immigration issue by saying something like this.
I'm talking about the Mexican government forces many bad people into our country. Say, I have great relationship with the Mexican people. I have many people working for me. You can look at the job in Washington. I have many legal immigrants working for me. Many of them come from Mexico.
He gets heckled at a rally by a guy who admittedly doesn't have the best physique, and he says this.
You know, it's amazing. I mentioned food stamps, and that guy who's seriously overweight went crazy. He went crazy. Amazing.
Then he attacks a New York Times reporter with cerebral palsy.
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Maybe that's what I said.
And this kind of shit has been his modus operandi for 30 plus years. I'm all for a president who speaks his mind and tells it like it really is, but you don't have to be an insensitive fucking douche nugget about it. This has nothing to do with political correctness. It's just basic civility. You're running for the office of President of the United States, fuckwit. If you want to be an insensitive asshole, become a stand-up comic or get your own YouTube show. Oh, and you might want to get some funnier material too, because the shit you've been saying ain't funny, you classless, bile-spewing dung sculpture. It was bad enough when we just had a presidential nominee who was just a little stupid. But this creep is just plain vicious and cruel. Besides, do you honestly think he's capable of doing anything different than any other president of the last 50 years? Or hell, for that matter, the last 239 years. The presidency is largely a figurehead, not much more powerful from an administrative standpoint than the royalty in England. Sure, the president has veto power and can suggest policy, but no president is able to completely overhaul the policies of government without the absolute full backing of Congress and the Senate. And since they are mostly comprised of elected officials, most of which have dubious or even nefarious priorities of their own, that shit is never going to happen. The only way you're going to get rid of partisan politics is going to be to get rid of the current two-party system, and there's no way in hell they'll ever let that happen. Yes, we do have other parties besides the Republicans and the Democrats, but they represent less than 1% of all elected officials in key offices of government. Green Party, Independent Party, Libertarian Party, Frat Party, all of them have less power overall than a Mayberry sheriff trying to pull rank on a CIA agent. You stand a better chance of blowing out an active volcano with a beer fart than you do getting a libertarian into the Oval Office. Trump's main campaign tool, and make no mistake, he is a fucking tool, is to call his opponents names. He talks about all his peers as though he's the schoolyard bully, calling people stupid, idiots, making dumb jokes about their personalities and their physical appearance. And then when he talks about other nationalities, he kind of comes off sounding a lot like Archie Bunker, saying they're nice people and then goes in to attack them. Remember, that's the current poll leader of the Republican Party you're supporting. A pathetic bully who thinks there's nothing wrong with calling women fat pigs. I think it would be kind of hilarious, actually, if he was really doing this just to see what would really happen. But you know what? He's like that weird neighbor kid who later turns into a serial killer in adulthood, shoving a lit firecracker up a cat's ass to watch it freak out when it goes out. Well, guess what, folks? We're the fucking cat in this analogy. And if we keep falling for this idiotic snot basket, we're going to end up bleeding out from our assholes. One thing I will say in his defense, though, is regarding that so-called People magazine quote. Turns out that quote never materialized in People magazine or any other media outlet. Folks, it's all well and good to hate on someone, but if you're going to attack their character, use some facts. Don't just make shit up. That's what Fox News is for. So what's the big answer? That's the best we could do? Oh, well. In my humble yet nonetheless correct opinion, I say we go ahead and give Bernie Sanders a shot. He seems like a generally decent guy, even if he is old enough to be Betty White's grandfather. And I may be missing something, but so far he comes off as a pretty level-headed guy. He's not racist, he supports gay rights, and he doesn't have a radioactive mutant tribble sitting on top of his motherfucking head. He's still a politician, so he's a bit suspect regardless, but he's less likely to flush the whole country down the toilet like a dead goldfish when shit doesn't quite go his way. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, or look up That Damn Rant Show on Facebook. In the meantime, I'm your host, E. Adam Thomas, and this has been That Damn Rant Show. Good night, everybody. Angry Men Reviews. Many fucks said, no fucks given.
Dirty